Hello everyone, I'm X13, and in this tutorial I'll be teaching you how to build the Atlas V rocket with the Boeing Starliner in 1:1 scale. This rocket has multiple stages and sections, and I'm going to be going through them all from bottom to top. This means that you can build the rocket in any stage that you'd like. As mentioned beforehand, this build is in 1:1 scale, meaning that 1 meter in real life equals exactly 1 block in Minecraft. Because this is a 1:1, it will size correctly with the other rocket tutorials that Pop Dirt and Mind have created, as well as any other 1:1 scaled builds. As for dimensions, this build is 8 blocks wide at its widest point, and 54 blocks tall with all stages on top of each other. So let's get building. Alright, so to start off the tutorial, we're going to be starting with stage 1, which consists of about 3/4 of the entire rocket, although it is definitely not the hardest section, as you will see in the later stages. Alright, so we are first going to come with one block of stone, and that's going to be floating 1 block above the ground, then come out diagonally with that, just like so, and then stack that one more time. We're then going to take our fire coral fans, which are the red ones, and place 2 on either one of these diagonals, the bottom ones. And don't place any on the middle here, because they're offset, and if you place one here, you can't place one on the other. Anyways, if you're in default, you definitely don't want to be using a red coral fan here, because it looks a little bit different for you. In the pack, it is a cobblestone vertical slab, and in default, you can instead use, because you don't have vertical slabs, cobblestone walls like this. And actually, you might have stone walls, because we don't have a, let's see, is there a stone wall? Maybe not. Anyways, yeah, so cobblestone wall or something to that degree will work for you. But if you're on the pack, which I assume most people are, yeah, you can use the fire coral fans as a cobblestone vertical slab. Anyway, going up from that, we're then going to place spruce trapdoors above those, and just close those against the stone above that. And these are spruce trapdoors are a stone texture in the pack, and if you do not have the pack, I would suggest just leaving these off instead of trying to substitute iron or birch, which is what most people do, because iron and birch are both white and stone is gray. And I think it would probably be better just to leave those off and have it be a slightly more steeper angle, rather than have a severely miscolored engine with the right angle. Anyway, birch trapdoors in between these 2 spaces here, and those are a white texture. In default, you can use iron. Anyway, now with our purpose stairs, which are a white wool texture, you can use quartz in default or smooth quartz. We're going to come out on either side and place 2 upside down ones, like this. Just like that. And that is going to be kind of rounding out to the bottom here. Place a row of white wool around just on top of those. And now we're going to get into the main part of it, which is mostly orange terracotta, but there is a little bit of acacia. Just 1 row of acacia at the bottom. Now, 1 row of orange terracotta, and so this entire, from all the way up there down to here, where the acacia is, that is 31 blocks. Now, if you would like, you can do this, or if you don't have rolled it. However, I do have rolled it, so for the sake of time, I'll just be using /stack and then 30, because it's 31 in all, and we already have a 1. So you can see if I measure this out here, it equals 31, and there we go. So that's going to be pretty much it for the whole main booster. I'm just trying to clean the light command here real quick, just to get rid of this. And it takes a second. There we go. Alright, So now to start on the side boosters here, we're going to start. So you might have noticed that this rocket is an even number of blocks wide, which means that we can't put the side boosters directly in the center, which is how they are on the real thing. However, we can offset them. So this one is going to be on the back side, and this one on the front, like so. So it's a little bit more even. Alright, so we are now going to come down to this engine layer and get our mossy cobblestone walls. I'll place one there. In default, you can use a diorite wall. This is a white wall texture in the Aeroteam pack. Alright, so starting from this white wall here, going all the way up to where it stops, that is 17 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Get a proper stair and place it facing inwards, as it has this kind of, it's not just a cone fairing, it like goes into the rest of the ship, just like that. Right, you know, a little bit more detail on the bottom of this mossy cobblestone wall. What we can do is, if you've got rolled edit, place a T like this, make sure it's facing the same way as I did. And to get the center one, left click, right click, same as we did. We used the REPL tool before? Yes, we haven't. If you have never used REPL tool, all you have to do is /REPL, like that, REPL 0, and left click, and paste it over. I've already got it there, so it didn't do anything. The other side, which I will do now, let's quickly build this, and then T facing the other direction. So left click on here, and then right click, and we'll paste that one. So you can do any of these as well. Face it in different orientations, but obviously we want that center one, so it's a little bit more of a realistic shape. Alright, so now on this side, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, as we already have, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and a purple stair facing inwards, like so. And this is kind of a tedious step now. We're going to place trapdoors all on these three sides, starting from here and going at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then closing these in this chair. So basically you do it on this side, and on this side, and you do that on both sides. So here, here, and here. And it's going from one block above the bottom, so one block's left completely bare. And you start above that block and go up 13 blocks. And then it'll be done. I'm going to speed up this part because you probably don't want to watch this whole thing. Alright, and now that I'm done with that, I just made one mistake in the measurements. This actually goes up 14, so if you can just add 1 on the top and you'll be good. So there should be, at the end of this, 2 blank white walls and then 1 stair. And if there's not, I'm going to measure that out again. Alright, but other than that, we're done with the sideways boosters, so now we're going to go on to the raceways here on the side. There's 2 of them. And we're going to get our acacia fence, red sandstone wall, jungle fence, or vanilla birch, and mossy cobblestone wall, or in vanilla diorite. Right, so they are asymmetrical, so on the left side here, we're going to be putting, we're going to be starting with the red sandstone wall, as you can see there, and we're going to be starting on the first orange terracotta right above the acacia. So we're going to be starting 1, 2, 3 of those, then a purple wall, and then for acacia fences, we're going 24 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And then with your jungle fence, which is white, or just birch in the default pack, 3. Now, as you can see on these, these are just standard fences. They don't have that little thing spoken out, so if you got rolled at it, you can just use your replace tool again. If you don't have rolled at it, not a big deal. You can just leave these how they are. And just replace all these real quick. Just like that. And same, actually these ones are a little bit different. You notice that the sides turn blue. That's because this is a different block state actually than just this. So you want to just replace that over. If you don't have that, that's okay, because that only happens in the Aeroteam pack where the sides turn blue. And that's like a tiny detail, so it shouldn't really matter. Alright, on the right side here, I'm going to be starting a little bit lower this time on the first white block and go 2 up with the mossy cobblestone. Again, this will turn blue, but we'll fix that in a second. So go 2 up with this, and then, as you can see here, we go up 11 with the red sandstone wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And that should land you at the same height as the end of the truck course. Now, same thing with this. This is just a regular wall, not the ones with the side things on them. So we just replace all these, and except for this top one. And then the bottom one here is just a regular one with the side things, and the one right above it is not, but it's because we're doing the slash or the REPL tool. I won't update that, so I'll do it myself. But that is going to do it for stage. Delete these. Oops. That is going to do it for stage 1. Alright, so for the Interstage, and that's this area right here, this contains the engine area of the upper stages, which has the Boeing Starliner on it currently, and that's what I'll be showing you to build later on in the tutorial. Anyways, we're going to be first coming up to our, sorry, I switched that out wrong. We're going to first be coming up to the front of our rocket, which is the side that has the raceways on it, and we're going to be placing 2 blue concrete, and that's not going to be right here, but 1 block back. On the right side of that, we're going to be placing a birch trapdoor on the bottom, and then a purple top slab on the side. And that is the logo for the, you can see it when it's fully done. Here's the logo, and then there's the American flag up there. It's quite simple, but we really don't have a lot of space to work with here, so this is kind of the best that we can do. And one of the ways that we can make it better is by using things such as cutouts, which is instead of doing this, we might just do this. Well, that does maintain the shape a little bit better. You can see from the side it looks a little bit weird. It doesn't have the same amount of texturing, and it adds a little bit of depth to it as well. So yeah, so that's just a little bit of background knowledge of why sometimes we use pop-outs and sometimes not. You also notice, also just place, just continue this kind of ring around. We barely do cutouts on aircraft, and the reason for that is because it's a very circular shape, and it's quite hard to do cutouts, even on the tail, because that's only a block thick. So Things like trains are a lot easier to do cutouts on because, especially on the side, it's much more of like a larger flat surface rather than, yeah, like a curved object that's mostly 1 block wide. But on the rocket, we can do a little bit of that here with the little logo on the side. So anyway, now that my rant about why we use cutouts is done, you just continue this white wool around here. And as I mentioned before, purple slab is white wool, birch trapdoor is white wool, quartz and iron in default. Now we're just going to do another round of these, and just like that. And the cutout looks a little better now because the top's covered off. And then now we're going to do the American flag, which is pretty simple. Just a prismarine stair and then a polished granite stair. If you're in default, probably stone brick and then brick. So you get like a kind of grayish blue and then a red. You can use granite if you want to, but in the Aeroteam pack we've got prismarine, which is a nice blue. Oh yeah, actually you can use prismarine and not stone brick in default. The stone brick will probably look pretty cool too. Use a dark prismarine though, not regular prismarine. And then brick or granite, depending on what you want to do. And these are stairs because as we go around with our purple or quartz stair, it starts kind of thinning out a little bit around here. So yeah. Now this next part's going to be pretty hard to do without the pack because we are using basically from here to here, whole 8 blocks. That's all vertical slabs, and that for you guys that are more familiar with the pack, you probably already know dead brain coral, which are specifically the fan. The coral is just regular texture. But yeah, dead brain coral fan is the white sideways slab for those of you who are new to the pack. So this is really going to be hard for people in default. I've got a couple options. You can maybe just do this. It'll be a little bit too thin and you won't be able to actually put like the inside of this, as well as you're going to have to change the top rocket, which is why it's a little bit less desirable. You could also do walls. Diorite is not the prettiest texture in default, I know, but if you do this and then maybe fill up the inside like that, that's probably the best way. You guys won't have the blue because you're using diorite and not mossy cobblestone because you're not in the pack. That's probably the best way, even though it sticks out a little bit too far. Yeah, but for those of you who are in the pack, which is probably the majority of people, we can use I just got rid of it, didn't I? Dead brain coral fan. I'm just gonna fill up the inside real quick. I'm just gonna do 2 layers of this. So I just fill up the inside so I can place these, because I can't just place these on nothing, because it is a fan and they don't allow that. And then just do /ripple0. Make sure that you hit the command again so that you can just right click, because if you hit /ripple0 and then don't left click on anything, it'll just do error. That's what the 0 means. And then if I just do a clean light command, the inside of this won't get cleaned. There we go. And now that's broken. And alright, there we go. So yeah, the reason that I want to make this hollow is because if you are one of the people that wants to actually like put this inside rather than just kind of pretend that it's there, that's what you can do. But anyway, that's going to do it for the Interstage. Alright, so this is where the tutorial starts to get a little bit different depending on whether you're going to be building it all together or split up like I have here. So I'm first going to build it split apart, and then just this section, because that's the section that's going to be different depending on whether you're building it inside the rocket or out. And then once I'm done building it outside, I'll show you how to build it inside. Alright, so anyways, if you're going to be building it outside, just come a block up, and place 2 stone brick, just the same as we did with the bottom entrance down there, just kind of diagonal. And then stone brick wall on top of each, and then an iron bar off to either side. Now, there's a little bit of roll that you can do. You can see that the iron bar isn't connected to this one. And the way that we're going to do that is just do this, and then rebelling over, and you should still have the rebel tool. So you shouldn't have to do the /rebel0 again. And then real quick, just replace the wall so we can get rid of, just like that, just like that. Pretty small detail, especially if it's inside. We do not need to do that if you don't want to. Even if you do, hold it up because it's just a tiny detail. Yeah. Anyway, engines now, and of course that we did that. We're going to come up and place 4 upside down purple stairs, just like that. And I'm going to replace this little engine thing because I broke it. Just like that. And that. There we go. Alright. Now there's some buttons on it, and this is kind of the part that you cannot do if it's in there. So yeah. Also, by the way, something that I didn't mention in the last thing that you can do, it was just like this. It was just a hole, pretty much straight down all the way to the bottom with the engines. But I just blocked that off because in real life you can't see all the way through it. There's electronics and stuff, I assume, inside the Interstage. So yeah, that's going to be there, and then the engines are going to be here, I believe. So yeah. So anyway, engines. Now this button pattern is a bit interesting, so let me just grab my buttons here. There we go. So we got Acacia and Blackstone. If you're in vanilla, I just use Blackstone for both. And then so it doesn't just go all the way around. You can see that. So what we're gonna do is front here 2, side here 2, on the back on the right, and then on this side and the left. And then you can place your Acacia, and didn't mean to do that. Place that there, and then like this. So the Blackstone is going to be on the left side, this front one here. So that's, and then that's going to be the Blackstone one. So just do that, and then I'm just going to run a quick clean light command because this is kind of messed up. There we go. That's going to do it. If it's inside, don't have to do that. If it's inside, technically you don't even have to do any of this. You can just do the vert slabs. But yeah. Now, onto the trapdoors. So just place blocks on top of these, and then birch trapdoors or iron if you're vanilla on top of these. And just like that. Now that brings us to the end of the part that's actually inside. The rest of this area here is just a continuation. So we have the 2 vertical slabs from the Interstage, and the rest of these, there's 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are here. So yeah. So we can just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And then just like that, and then to break coral fans on the side, or diorite walls if you are in. No. There you go. So that's gonna be most of it. There's just a little bit left here, but before we get to that part, I'm just going to teach you how to move this in. So basically, if you do want the engines to actually be inside, even if you're not going to be able to see them, first thing is destroy these buttons, because these are in the way of that. And then destroy the trapdoors, and that should be... Let the things on the outside, and then we're just going to count the blocks real quick from, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's 5 blocks, so that means that if I just do my wand here, and just do / move 5, that, oops, for that one thing. Although, that does give you an idea of where it'll sit, so the engines will actually be sitting right on top of there. Should have done / move 5 - A, so the air does not get moved, and there we go. So now, if I delete one of these, you can actually see that the engine is inside. So yeah, just kind of a cool feature to have, even if you're not going to be able to see it. Just run a quick cleanline command. It would appear that nothing was actually broken. Alright, so this brings us up to here. Now I'm going to be building this section and this on top of it. So this gets a little bit complicated here, but it should be not super hard. So anyway, this is going to be a quite world-edity area, as you can see. We got cornered off stairs that no stairs on them, and then occasional buttons next to it. So anyway, do that, and then this, so that like the, not that, like this. There we go. And then doing that wrong. Anyway, you can just do these 3 first. Just get rid of these, and you can see like the pole is kind of on the outside, so that's gonna break all of them. Of course it is. Let's see. Oh, that's not correct. There we go. Like that, and that, and that, and that. There we go. Okay. Now, set 0 and delete all these outside ones. Now, I can place these buttons on the side. So normally I would use a rebel, but if I place a block here, it'll destroy this whole thing. So I'm going to use / move instead. Acacia, select 1, and then it's 2 away. So we just use / move 2, and I'm already facing the direction, so it doesn't matter. And there we go. Do this on all the sides. Go. And last one. Did not do 2 there. There we go. Alright, and now you got the buttons on there. So next, we're just going to be doing this kind of upper thing with the arrow skirt. Now, if you're building this after the arrow skirt has come off, but the top is still connected to the bottom, or the capsule is still connected to this kind of mill stage. Sorry, I don't really know the technical names for all this. You're going to have to do this area, which we'll be doing right now. So this is going to use some coral fans, and hopefully this doesn't break. Alright, nice. So I'm just going to do this real quick, because that's how we're going to kind of get this area to be how we want it. So the way that this works is that these are dead brain coral fans facing out like this, like that, and then there are mossy glowstone walls or white walls on the side like this, and then there's also trapdoors here just to make this a little bit thicker and rounder. So you can just do that on all sides. Sorry if that's a little bit confusing, but it does get quite complicated around the top here. That. Go, and just do that in the corners. Just do this, so don't have to place it again. we can do... That's not connecting. Fix that in a second. There we go. Okay, so these aren't connecting except for that one. So if I just real quick, it's kind of a problem looking at rockets that I can't just place blocks anywhere. I gotta have a full platform for them. Anyway, if I just do that, I can just replicate these on and run a clean light. And anytime, and it didn't work. Okay, there we go. Alright. So there's some diorite walls in the center, which are, I think, just the connecting part of it. Just like that. And that should... So basically, this is the... So this is the aero skirt, and you can see in the fully built thing, if we go inside here, it's just white. None of this is here, because this kind of interferes with that, and it's also covered up by the aero skirt. So the way that it works is that once the aero skirt is off, this is what this looks like. However, if you're building it on, or with the aero skirt still on, this is going to be a little bit different. Instead of these coral fans on the inside, we're going to use trapdoors, and that's what I'm going to do, because I am not doing it blown up like this. I'm building it all in kind of one thing. And the aero skirt is on here and this block area, so kind of these two. Anyway, with the aero skirt on, we're not going to do this inside area. It's just going to be two things like this. And then this is, going to be trapdoors now. Like that, and then if we get our walls, just so I can make these have the little things coming off of them. There we go. So that's what the aero skirt is going to look like. And then I can just do that. Let's see if I do. This, and then just do slash stack facing down, so it'll just do down one. There we go. So that's going to be the aero skirt. So again, when it's together, that's what it'll look like. It's not going to have this interior detail. I probably should have mentioned that before, so that you didn't have to build that. But you know, this is a very modular build. So yeah, and that is going to do it for this Interstage. Alright, so to start on the bottom part of the capsule, the trunk, we are first going to be building it again, same with this part, above the rest of the build, so that if you want to do the blown up one, you can add all the stuff on the bottom, but if you're doing the together version, then you don't do that. So yeah, so I'm gonna go up 2 blocks this time, and just do a nice 4x4, and then go off into on this side. So the same kind of profile that we've been doing, and then wall all the corners to get a nice circular shape. Now the bottom does have some details put in. So these are solar panels down here, as well as some different stuff here. These are the little booster rockets on the side. These little things here. So yeah. Alright, so the way that we get the blue trapdoors is that if you're not super familiar with the pack, you might have looked up trapdoor, and there's no blue trapdoor. Let's use the rails. These are, so we've got all the different block states of trapdoor. Above one, bottom trapdoor, and then also the side ones. So it's kind of a neat little feature of the pack. But yeah, we can just put some temporary blocks here, and then do this, and just make sure these are all top, and then delete these, and just like that we've got the solar panels at the bottom. There's also some buttons on the bottom, so we're going to get our oak buttons and stone buttons. Now the stone buttons are on the bottom of these walls that have a little bit of detail, so if I just select that, and I put temporary blocks on all the bottoms of these walls, just like that, and there we go. Now we're also going to take our oak button, and there's going to be a few of these in this kind of pattern, like this, in each of these corners, like so. And that's going to do it for all the bottom details, so now they will be the same if you are building it separated or attached. So I'm just going to delete all this stuff real quick, and we will get on building the rest of it. So just going to delete all these buttons off here, and then select it, / move to, and there we go. Now it has been placed on top of the rest of the secondary engine. Alright, so to start the rest of the trunk gear, we're going to go around with our stripped oak log, and I think it's stripped oak, yep, stripped oak, and an acacia button on each face, like so. Only on the right side, though, you can see. And actually, that's a little bit wrong. It should be like that, and then on this side, yeah, so that's right. Okay, so yeah, so it's on the right face, on the front, back, and left side, and then on the right side, just on the left. Alright, and that's gonna kind of do it for the top. There's a couple details that we can add inside. If you have the head database mod, you can get a red head and a blue head, like so, and these are going to go inside here, like that, and then iron bars in the corner. These are just little fuel tanks. And then yeah, that's going to be almost it for this. We're just going to take a lever for the final detail. Place it there. Now, this is a little bit different if you're building it separated or on. If it's on, this is a little like connector, I guess you would call it. And if it's on, this lever is like this as it's connected, and if they're separated like this, it kind of pops out like this. So yeah, just if you're building it apart, you can put that on now. If you're building this, we're going to do that in the next stage, which we'll be getting to right now. Alright, for the final part of the build here, the main capsule. First going to be coming up to where we left off last time, and just putting 4 blocks of wool, and bring coral fans on the outside. Alright, walls if you are in vanilla. Obviously, if you are building this on here right now, then you can put your lever, which will be facing down, like so, and just like that. If you don't overload it, just leave this like that, and it shouldn't be a big deal. If you are building this off, the only difference is that there's 4 trapdoors on the bottom of this here, but other than that, it is the exact same. Alright, so, going into the top now, inside here, these 2 little corners actually come off to reveal the docking mechanism, and this is inside here. So you got the little window, and then yeah, so this pops off to reveal the docking mechanism, and so obviously these buttons can't be put on if you're building it fully built like this. However, the rest of it can. So that's what we are building next. So you're gonna get, if you're in the pack, iron ore, acacia buttons, polished diorite, and quartz. If you're in the pack, just get pillar quartz instead of iron ore. So you're gonna place on the front right pocket quartz, and then iron ore behind it, and then polished diorite stairs, and then one cornered out like this, and that didn't work. There we go. If you don't have rolled at it, you can just leave it uncornered, whichever one you don't want to. And then if you are going to be putting this on, like I am, you can leave these buttons off, but I'll just show you real quick for those of you that are going to be putting it on. So anyway, acacia button aligned, and then leave it off this pillar, or sorry, iron ore, but on the quartz, and then the polished diorite stairs. I'm going to put that on. Anyway, I'm going to delete this now because, you know, I'm going to be putting the top on. Where we can keep this. So, right there, and that's going to break. On the left front, we're going to put a birch trapdoor. On the right, an acacia trapdoor. And then on the right side, 2 birch. On the left side, 2 birch. And then on the back, on the left side, 1 birch, and then 1 spruce on the right side. And I can just fix this real quick. Oh, no, it's a button instead. I forgot about that. And there we go. Alright, that's fixed now. And that'll do it for the main part of the capsule if you are building it disconnected. And then if you're building it disconnected, you can just do this, like split in 2. But yeah, so this is the final area. We're just going to place 4 purple stairs in a circle, like that. And that will do it for the entire Atlas V with the Boeing Starliner. Congratulations for completing this Aeroteam tutorial. Thanks for choosing an Aeroteam video. We hope you enjoyed building it, and we hope you'll build more. Feel free to use this Atlas V rocket in any public project as long as you give the Aeroteam credit. You are not permitted to use this without providing proper credit. If you did build this tutorial, let us know by tagging us on our Twitter at AeroteamMC, or share it with us in the Minecraft channel in our Discord. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. We do all sorts of Minecraft tutorials and showcases, and you can be the first to see them when they come out. Again, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm X13, and thanks for watching.